Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm very happy to share with you my Soviet Union guide. I updated it for Arms Against Tyranny, and I also included several improvements compared to the last time, which will allow us to win World War II even faster than before and with an even higher war score than before. Now, this video is going to be a little bit longer than usual because I decided with this new format to include the setup, all of my designs and templates, and the war itself. Speaking of designs and templates, of course now they're up to date, but hopefully the strategy will remain viable for a long time. But Paradox has this nice habit of messing up my designs very quickly. So just in case, I will include up here the playlist dedicated to division templates and designs for tanks and planes, in which I always upload my most updated designs. So from time to time, make sure that you're using the latest designs available. The other thing that I want to say in this short introduction is that this run is quite intensive. There are a lot of things to pay attention to, and there is also a little bit of RNG involved. That is due to the fact that the Soviet Union has this paranoia system, which triggers some randomized events. We're going to keep that to a minimum with my strategy, but there is still a chance that something unexpected comes up. And the other thing that may happen is World War II can play out in different ways. There is some RNG in there too. The overall outcome will not change. We're going to win the war, and we're going to do it fast. But it may be that the German Reich is able to defeat France, or that Hungary and Romania join the Axis a bit earlier, which will make the war a bit tougher for us. So again, there is some RNG involved in there. Finally, if you reload the game at any point during the run, you may trigger some events which would not have happened otherwise. So I will try not to reload the game in this run, to keep it a constant run from the beginning until the end. If you reload the game, you may trigger something like, I don't know, the war between Hungary and Romania is one of them, or Hungary and Romania joining the Axis earlier. That's another event which may be triggered by reloading the game. Overall, nothing major, and the strategy remains viable in any case. That being said, I'd say we can start. Keep in mind that researches and focus will be included in the description of the video, so they will not be part of the video itself. So the first thing we are going to take care of are buildings. We are going to build infrastructures and full military factories from the very beginning of the game. We don't need civilian factories. With the Soviet Union, if we build military factories right away, we can get some amazing tank designs, which I will share later, in time for World War II. But that's the only way, if you build military from the very beginning. So we are going for full infrastructures and military in Moscow. Kharkov, Krasnodar, Odessa, Minsk, and Crimea. In terms of military production, we are going for 11 factories assigned to infantry equipment, 5 to support equipment, 3 to towered artillery, 3 to anti-air, 5 to trucks, and 4 to basic small airframe, and then another one assigned to civilian trains. It doesn't matter what you do with the Navy, I just build everything the way it is.
Смирно! Так точно! Так точно! Я готов! Готов! Брось! Смирно! Так точно! Я готов! Я готов! Смирно! Брось! Готов? Брось! Мирно! Брось! Готов! Я готов! Так точно! Так точно! Мирно! Так точно! Мирно! Я готов! Брось! Смирно! Брось! Так точно! Готов? Мирно! Я готов. Я готов. Так точно. Брось! Готов. Смирно!
Okay, now in terms of army positioning and how to split your armies early in the game, there is quite a lot of stuff to do, so I will show it briefly. Let's start with the cavalry, it's easier. I select all of my cavalry and I assign it to the border with Japan, let's say around here. And I train them. They are also assigned to a new theater. In the main theater I keep 24 infantry divisions, the regular infantry, but I take 6 of them to create a separate army. I assign my best general to them, and these guys will be volunteers to Spain as soon as the war in Spain starts. You can keep them wherever you want, but they will go to Spain later. The second main army, you can assign it wherever you want, just start training them by shift-clicking here. You can do it on the whole army. You can just train your tanks, and you can train your one motorized. It's actually already at regular, so you will not be able to train them. As for the mountaineers, first you can gather all of them, but then I remove 3 of them, and I assign them to a secondary theater. And I use the 10 that have the highest fighting strength for a naval invasion of the Netherlands. The naval invasion will happen later, but we are starting the planning now. We start from Leningrad, and we're going to send 3 of them to this harbor here, 3 of them here, another 3 here, and the last one here. So this is how we plan our naval invasion of the Netherlands. In the second theater, I assigned all of the less upgraded divisions. They will become our defensive divisions later on, and one of the main ones to keep it 24 in here. Another full army of regular infantry, full of army of 24 of regular infantry, and then I already assigned the remaining mountaineers here. So this is how I split the armies initially. You can do it differently, but the important thing is you plan the invasion of the Netherlands and you train all of them. In terms of the navy, again, you can do things differently, but I like sending them all to Leningrad and training them once they get there. In terms of planes, I like to gather them all in Moscow and then train them once they are there. By the way, I hope the standard name is not a description of how they really are. I usually also change the territory management, local police force here, and cavalry here. And we're also going to create an agency from the very beginning of the game. And we're going to buy some rubber from British Malaya. Now, with this our initial setup is done. There is not much to do early in the game, so you can probably keep the speed as 5 at 5. The next thing we need to do is justify on the Netherlands as soon as we get to 50 political power. Here we go, so we can justify on the Netherlands. As soon as we get our first spy, we're quite lucky here. We're going to send him or her to Mexico to build the internet network. We're also going to increase the production of guns to 15. Mobilize the forces against Turkey, you just get some free war support. At 150 political power, we're going to pick the popular figurehead to increase our stability. Next, we wait for the civil war in Spain to start. Here we go, the civil war started. We are going to send our volunteers and air volunteers as well. We already prepared the army. What you do with the volunteers in Spain is entirely up to you. You can try to win the war if you want. It's possible, but I found it not to be very consistent. The main goal for our volunteers in Spain is to build army experience and air experience for us. That's what we care about the most. We're also going to change our spy to quiet intel network in Mexico.
Готов? Выходим!
As soon as you get enough political power, you can pick war economy. At this point, we're also going to prepare our navy for the invasion of the Netherlands. For that, we stop training them. We select all of the submarines. And we send them all here. In this way, we will get the Green Sea everywhere we need when we start our naval invasion. We also bring the production of artillery to 5 and the production of planes to 15. Next, we are going to invade the Netherlands as soon as we get the claim. For the infantry equipment MIO, I suggest this priority. We got our claim on the Netherlands, we can start the naval invasion and the war. As you can see, we can get the Green Sea everywhere.
Я готов.
And start our naval invasion. Now, the naval invasion usually succeeds. It can take a bit longer, depending on how it goes. But you usually disembark here. And my suggestion is to try to, other than pushing these divisions away, once you disembark with these units, try to go around them and take Amsterdam and Rotterdam from behind these guys while they are busy fighting. This is the best strategy I found so far. If you find a better one, go for it. The other thing I usually do is I use force attack to make it a bit easier for them to disembark.
Готов. Брось. Продолжаем атаку!
If you're watching the unedited version of this video, I wanted to try one thing. See if we can get there with our battleships. That would be nice. Can they get there? I think they can. Yeah, they can. Then that's better. Now, while you naval invade the Netherlands, you need to keep an eye on the political paranoia, because when you get to 20% political paranoia, you want to start forging satisfactory production reports.
Продолжаем атаку!
We're also going to pick the army reformer at this point. Okay, we finally disembarked.
Так точно! Выходим! Не стоим, идем! Не стоим, идем! Я готов! Я готов! Выходим! Готов. Готов.
Okay, we got the Netherlands. Now careful, because this is a tricky peace conference. You need to proceed in the following. You need to follow the. Sorry about this. If you're watching the unedited version, you need to proceed with the following order. First of all, you take the navy. Then you puppet them and the Dutch East Indies, and you take resource rights from them and from the Dutch East Indies. Only then you add the war reparations to everybody. In this way, you're able to take everything in one peace conference. Otherwise, if you do not follow this order for some reason, you don't have enough points for everything. Now, after the war, check your army experience, and if you have about 36, you want to pick the Professional Officer Corps right away. You also want to stop importing rubber. And we want to send volunteers back to Spain. As for the army of mountaineers, you can rejoin them with their comrades in the other army. We can also gather the navy and start training them again.
Готов. Брось! Вытеснимы!
At 100 political power, we're going to pick the ground support advisor. As soon as you complete this research, it's time to design our new F1. Before we do that, we're also going to pick the MIO. I suggest to follow this priority. After number 4, I would go for this one and this one. But by selecting only 4 of them, we get a notification when we have the next one available. And the next one will also unlock the policies, which are very good. For our F1, we're going to use this design. And we're going to replace the default one, production to 15. Now you can focus on the civil war in Spain, but keep an eye on the political paranoia, because when it gets to 25%, you want to pick inspection in the Navy. Here we go, it's at 27%. At 27%, I'm going to pick inspection in the Navy. Whatever the outcome, make sure to pick the one that decreases the political paranoia. Next, we need to pick inspection in the Air Force once again political paranoia goes above 25%. Okay, 27% political paranoia, so we are going for inspection in the Air Force. Again, whatever the outcome, we need to decrease the paranoia. For the artillery MIO, I suggest this priority, but it's up to you. For motorized, I suggest this priority. Whenever you can seize the Spanish gold reserves, that's a pretty good event. At that point, you should also get free civilian and military factories. With military factories, we are going to design our new C1 and produce it. For C1, I'm going to use this design. And we're going to produce it, production up to 15. With our free civilian factories, first of all, we are going to build more military factories in all of the 100% provinces. Including Crimea. And then we build infrastructures plus military factories in Leningrad. Kiev, Stalingrad, Vinnytsia, Cherkasy, Yaroslav, and Smolensk. We're also going to pick the air spirits, air crew surveys, and centralized control. We're also going to make some adjustments to our templates, starting with the default one. We want to add the engineer company and the anti-air. The rest is okay as it is. I like the combat width of 18. We're not going to change these divisions anymore. We're also going to change the defensive division. I like to change the icon and the name to def. But more importantly, I like bringing the combat width to 10. It's a very flexible and good defensive combat width. I add the engineer company and the support anti-air. The support anti-air is not entirely needed, to be honest, so you can add it later or not add it at all. We're also going to recruit some of these new defensive divisions. I usually recruit 5 of them plus another 24 of them.
Не стоим, идем! Не стоим, идем! The first German-Soviet treaty, we are going to pick it. We're going to accept the first German-Soviet treaty. And as soon as this focus is completed, we're also going to pick the construction company industrial concern.
As soon as we get to 10 political power, we're going to improve relations with the states.
Зададим жару! Вытесним их! Мирно! Мы под огнем!
As soon as this focus is completed, we want to start an assassination, subtle assassination for Trotsky. I usually press automatically repeat so that I get a notification once this is done. We can also bring the American experts. Now we need to keep an eye on paranoia once again. I know this is quite annoying. And we want to forge satisfactory reports as soon as it gets to 25% or more. As soon as we get our second spy, we are not lucky this time, we're going to send it to spy to build Intel network in Germany.
Занимаю укрытие.
Okay, we're going to forge satisfactory reports. I was slightly late, but it's still fine. Now, at this point, usually the war in Spain is going quite bad for us. At this point, it may be better to start retreating your army to safer positions.
Брось! Так точно! Готов!
At this point, I would also assign and train the new divisions we recruited.
Готов?
And I would also increase the motorization priority for all armies to maximum, so that they don't die of attrition anymore.
Смирно!
Again, at 25% political paranoia, we want another inspection in the Navy. If you get 3 military factories at this point, I would temporarily assign them to support equipment. Soon we are going to assign all of them to tanks.
Брось! Выходим!
I'm a little worried about these divisions, I'm not going to lie.
Брось! Готов!
Now, the tank MIO, this is quite an important one. First of all, we want this first perk. Do not update the equipment, because we don't have our tanks in here yet. And then I would suggest this priority. Now, about 1 month is left to the end of the Paranoia events, and there is a chance for a bad event at this point. That's why we're saving some political power. If needed, we're going to delay the event if it's bad with political power.
Не стоим, идем! Не стоим, идем!
Okay, as soon as we finish this research, we can design our new tanks. And for tanks, we're going to use this amazing design. This is a very, very good design in single player. Of course, it's not going to work in multiplayer because we don't have any hard attack. But in single player, this is absolutely amazing. It will destroy the Germans, as you will see in a bit. So we save it. And we start producing it. We decrease the guns production to 10. The support equipment to 5 and the C1 to 5. Everything else goes into tanks. Should be around 25, 27 factories at this point. We can also switch to Quiet Intel Network in Germany. We are done with the Paranoia events, so we don't need to save political power anymore, which means we can specialize in civilian industry down here.
Не стоим, идем!
Yeah, I was a bit unlucky with the divisions in Spain. Usually they go for this side first, but not this time. That's okay. So we need to recruit another 5 divisions. 6 divisions, actually.
Готов? Мирно!
And for his amazing results, we're also going to promote our general, which was in Spain. And you can give this new marshal some traits. I usually like offensive doctrine, organization first, and charismatic. Not infantry expert, because I prefer him to be a panzer expert if possible. But if not, later on we'll also give him infantry expert. Okay, after this focus, we want to pick a new decision. This one, we will accomplish a high yield.
Так точно.
Okay, we got the assassination of Trotsky completed, and we can start making a collaboration government in Germany. At 150 political power, we are going to replace this guy, Jagoda, with the Elusive Gentleman to get an extra operative slot. We're going to use our new spy to keep the intel we built in Germany. Again, a bit unlucky. So we're going to use the new spy to keep the intel network we built in Germany. At 150 political power, this is optional, but you can pick the captain of industry to build railways and civilian factories, and infrastructures a bit faster before the war. Again, this is fairly optional. In this game, I'm a bit low on political power, so I think I'm not going to do it.
Only the prelude to a larger settlement in which all Europe may find peace. This morning, I had another talk with the German Chancellor, Herr Hitler. And here is the paper which bears his name upon it as well as mine.
Мирно. Готов.
Some of you perhaps have already heard what it contains, but I would just like to read it to you. We, the German Führer and Chancellor, and the British Prime Minister have had a further meeting today and are agreed in recognizing that the question of Anglo-German relations is of the first importance for the two countries and for Europe. Last night, and the Anglo-German naval agreement, as symbolic of the desire of our two peoples never to go to war with one another again. We are resolved that the method of consultation shall be the method adopted to deal with any other questions that may concern our two countries, and we are determined to continue our efforts to remove possible sources of difference and thus to contribute to assure the peace of Europe.
The border fight with Japan is actually pretty convenient. If you assign the cavalry like I did, you will always win and you get a nice production for land doctrines.
Готов!
When you get free civilian factories, you can start building infrastructures and forts at the border with Romania. I would build probably 2 or 3 forts in each province here. We're also going to pick the military theorist. And we're going to edit our tank template. We need to make a lot of changes here. Let's start with the support companies. We want the engineer company, support artillery, logistics company, and motorized recon company. Then we want medium tanks and not light tanks. And we want enough motorized to get to a combat width of 32. This is the final division. I also upgraded to elite. I changed the icon and I changed the name. I have a lot of fantasy. It's expensive, but it will be worth it. We also want to recruit 1 tank. The other ones, we already have them, but they need to be changed. And 11 motorized divisions. We're also going to recruit another 24 defensive divisions. We're also going to pick army regrouping. And we're going to make sure that we are producing the most upgraded version of our tanks. It was not the case. So from time to time you need to go here, click here, and make sure they don't fuck up your name like they did right now. This is how fun Arms Against Tyranny is. At this point we can also design and produce flame tanks. This is a design that I usually go for. Since it is fairly expensive, we are going to assign 4 factories to it. We take them from our regular tanks. And we can also add the flame tank medium company to our tank divisions. We can also start picking some of our air doctrines. And we can make sure that our navy is entirely gathered and it is training. We can do the same thing for planes. We probably have quite a lot of planes to be deployed at this time. We deploy all of them, we split them around, and we make sure they're all training. We can also make sure that all of our armies are at maximum training.
Готов? Смирно! Смирно!
When you get this decision, I usually go for some free air experience, why not? But this is a very important decision. Compared to our latest guide, in which we accepted the treaty, we are not going to deal with the German Reich. This will allow us to start the war a bit earlier, the German Reich will attack us, and to finish the war a lot earlier and with higher war score. So no deal with the fascists.
Готов?
As soon as we finish this research, it's time for our F2 and C2 designs. Now, this is the amazing F2 design that we're going to use for the war. This design is absolutely fantastic. You will see some crazy stats. It has great air defense, great air attack, and great range for a small airframe. So this is a really, really good design in my opinion. And for what concerns our C2 design, we're going for this one, a fairly balanced design with good range and good ground attack. Now, in terms of production, we are going to decrease the production of tanks to only 25, and once again, for fun, we're going to make sure that the latest design is being produced, and that's not the case. Going to change the name, save it, make sure we're producing it. For flame tanks, that's not as important because stats don't matter there. We're going to assign 15 factories to C2 and everything else is going to F2 designs. We're also going to pick the decision we will accomplish again. Now, at this point, if you had some bad traits gathered from before, we want to get rid of them. So we are going to pick this decision to get rid of these debuffs. Okay, so when World War II starts, it's not going to be a big problem for us. We're not going to be involved right away. We're going to be involved after Poland capitulates, but we need to do quite a bit of setup at this point.
This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note, stating that unless we heard from them by 11 o'clock, they were prepared.
First of all, I would use the 3 civilian factories to fully upgrade all of the supply hubs at the border with Poland.
I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received.
After that, you can also start improving the infrastructures at the border with Poland.
With Germany.
Смирно!
What a
Так
bitter
точно!
with all my long struggle.
I also suggest you force deploy your last tank if it is not deployed already.
If there is anything
Так точно!
that I could have done, and
Готов!
could have been more successful. Up to the very last,
Готов?
it would have been quite possible to have arranged a peaceful and
Так
honorable
точно.
settlement
between Germany
Готов.
but Hitler would not have it. He had evidently made up his mind
Так
to
точно.
attack Poland, whatever happened.
Так точно.
Now at this point we also want to assign all of the generals. This is actually fairly simple in the way I do it. I start with the main army, with the marshal, and I assign our new OP marshal.
Мирно.
Secondary army, any marshal is fine. And third theater, let's say, any marshal is fine.
Готов.
Then the most important general is going to be the one leading our tanks. I usually like this one. All of the other ones are not important, so the way I pick them is I simply select them in order of defensive skills. I skip this one because I like to keep him for my secondary tank divisions later on, and then I simply assign them to the armies, just like that.
Я готов.
In fulfillment of our obligations, going to the aid of Poland,
Мирно.
bravely resisting this wicked and unprovoked attack upon her people.
Так точно.
We have
Я готов.
we have done all that our country could do to establish peace.
Брось.
The situation in which no word given by Germany's ruler could be trusted, and no people or country could feel itself safe.
Готов.
Okay, the army positioning next. We want our tanks to get a first push done from this area all the way into here.
Так точно.
We always want the motorized to follow the tanks just behind them.
Мирно.
We want the first main army to cover the upper part of Poland
Я готов.
and the second main army in the southern part of Poland.
Готов.
The third army, it's a defensive army in here, and we assign it to the whole front.
Готов.
We want another main army at the border with Romania,
Готов.
the other defensive army at the border with Finland just in case,
Брось.
the mountaineers down here ready to cover this area,
Мирно.
and the last defensive army which is still training. Actually this one we can send to Finland since we don't expect much fighting there. And the other one, the one that is already trained, we assign it a full back line just behind the front in case reinforcements are needed anywhere along the front. So this is how we set up our armies for World War II. We can also make sure to deploy all of the planes we haven't deployed yet and to train them all. And to gather the remaining part of the navy with the rest. We're also going to pick the armor advisor, and we're going to pick some of the doctrines. Especially we want the superior firepower doctrine, this one here. And then we want to pick smoke and fire, and we want to pick suppressive barrage as our favorite tactic.
Готов.
Probably you can also pick some traits for your general at this point. And the setup for World War II is officially done. Now we need to wait for Poland to capitulate.
Готов.
After Poland goes down, stop training your tanks. There should be only one not fully trained. It's okay, but we need him for the offensive. And then Germany should declare war on the Soviet Netherlands, which will officially start World War II for us. Now we are going to assign all of our planes to the main army, the tank army. We're going to need them for the first push. We're going to slow down the speed a little bit, and then we're going to start immediately with the first offensive as fast as possible, because at the very beginning the Germans still do not have much supplies, so we can take advantage of that from the very beginning. Now, since I'm not going to cover this war in detail in this guide, I'm going to explain briefly what we are going to do, and then you can watch the unedited version of the video if you want to see the whole war. So the first push is going to be here, and then we're going to try to encircle all of the divisions in here by cutting them off down here. Then we're going to go for Warsaw. Oh, sorry, no. Then we're going to go for Grodno up here. So we go for a second push up here, and we encircle all of their divisions up here. Then we go for Warsaw, Lodz, and from here we go all the way up to Danzig, and we encircle all of their divisions in here. At this point, if we did everything correctly, they shouldn't have many divisions left anymore. We keep pushing all the way to Berlin and then Frankfurt until Germany goes down. After Germany is down, we take care of Italy very quickly, and then we hope that Hungary or Romania or both join the Axis and the war, because after Italy goes down, we need another one to be the last major to defeat. Usually that's Hungary, and we end the war with Hungary. That's all for the strategy for World War II. Now let's see how it goes. Look at how our tanks absolutely shred the German divisions, completely destroy them.
Так точно. Я готов. Смирно. Мирно. Готов.
Oh, if you have enough political power during the war, you can also pick the close air support or the air combat training. Maybe the air combat training is slightly better. Advisor.
Так точно.
First encirclement down here is done successfully. If you feel like you're suffering too much, you can send the last defensive army that we kept in reserve
Готов?
to support.
On Friday evening last, I received His Majesty's commission to form a new administration. It was
Продолжаем атаку.
the will of Parliament, and
Выходим.
that this should be conceived on the broadest possible basis, and that it should include all parties, both those who supported the late government
Смирно.
and also the parties of the other.
Ройс.
I have completed the most important part of this task. A war cabinet has been formed of 5 members, representing, with the Liberal opposition, the unity of the nation. The 3 party leaders have agreed to serve either
Oh, as soon as the war starts, you can also pick Heroes Forward. It's pretty good.
fighting service
And then whenever possible, victory is at hand.
necessary that this should be done in one single day, on account of the extreme urgency and rigor of events.
Так точно.
A number of other key petitions were filled yesterday, and I'm submitting a further
Смирно.
to His Majesty tonight. I hope to complete the appointment of the principal ministers during tomorrow. The appointment of the other ministers usually takes a little longer, but I trust that when Parliament meets again, this part of my task will be completed, and that the administration will be complete in all respects. Sir, I considered it in the public interest to suggest that the House should be summoned to meet today.
Выходим.
The Speaker agreed and took the necessary steps in accordance with the powers conferred upon it by the resolution of the House. At the end of the proceedings today, the adjournment of the House will be proposed until Tuesday, the 21st of May, with of course provision for earlier meeting if need be. The business to be considered during that week will be notified to members at the earliest opportunity. I now
Смирно.
invite the House, by the resolution which stands in my name, to record its approval of the steps taken and to declare its confidence in the new government. Sir, to form an
Смирно.
administration of this scale and complexity is a serious undertaking in itself. But it must be remembered
Готов.
that we are in the preliminary stage of one of the greatest battles in history.
Я готов.
That we are in action at many points in Norway and in Holland. That we have to be prepared in the Mediterranean. That the air battle is
Готов.
and that many preparations have to be made here.
Выходим.
In this crisis, I hope I may be part of
Выходим.
today. I hope that any of my friends and colleagues or former colleagues who are affected by
Выходим.
reconstruction will make all allowances for any lack of ceremony with which it is
Ройс.
necessary to act. I would say to the House, as I said to them,
Мирно.
I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. We have before us an ordeal of the most grievous kind. We have before us many, many long months of struggle.
Готов.
You ask what it
Okay, we're ready for the second push. Let's go.
will say it is to wage war
There is even a river crossing in here, but we are not going to care.
with all the strength that God can give us. To wage war against the monstrous tyranny, never advanced in the dark of land.
Of course, whenever you can, you should pick doctrines, especially the air doctrines, which I forgot completely.
Okay, we can pick a policy for the air designs, and we're going to pick perfect finish. And then you can continue with this one and this one.
Так точно. Готов? Ройс! Готов! Ройс! Мирно! Готов! Я готов! Мирно! Смирно!
And we got our second massive encirclement in here. Now we need, of course, we need to kill everything in it.
Выходим!
I used to dislike Staff Office's plan, but it's actually pretty good. It speed ups the offensives a lot. And it doesn't cause any maluses, so it's very good in my opinion. Now, by destroying all of these German divisions, we basically cripple forever their military capacities. And this is kinda ending the war.
Вытесним их! Смирно! Так точно!
Completely destroyed. Let's also check some stats at this point. Our casualties are fairly low, and the German Reich has insane casualties. We cost them 1 million, they cost us less than 40k. It's quite insane. Let's check the planes as well. Yeah, they didn't have many planes in the first place in here, and so far the stats are not that crazy, but that's because we're using mostly the old fighters. You will see when we start using the new fighters, these stats will be absolutely crazy. Speaking of which, from time to time, remember to assign new planes, make sure that they all have the missions assigned, and they're all assigned to the main army of tanks. Okay, next we push for this area of Poland.
Так точно! Так точно! Брось! Готов! Выходим! Так точно!
Малодушие, беспечность, от настроения мирного строительства. Вполне понятно военное время, но папа будет в настоящее время. Эта война коренным образом изменила положение.
Смирно!
Жест как неумолим. Он ставит свои цели, как вот наши земли. Впереди к нашим фокусам.
Push for Warsaw. Let's go.
Как вот наши условия нашей нефти. Впереди к нашим трубам. Он ставит свои цели в расположение.
Look at how insane these tanks are. Speed 3, eh? Mind that this is speed 3. I will probably not edit out any of these. It's just fun to see. Okay, after I complete the desperate measures focus, I usually recruit another army of tanks. Oh, and by the way, at this point we finished all of the collaboration governments in Germany. You can do whatever you want with your spies, but I would assign them to spy in the States, because at some point of this run we're going to be there, and we want collaboration governments in there.
Так точно!
На нашу отечественную
Готов!
фашистских проводителей. Великий Ленин, создавший наше государство, говорил,
Брось!
качество не должно быть.
Выходим!
Отвага, незнание страха в борьбе, готовность биться вместе с народом против врагов нашей Родины.
Брось!
Великое качество большевиков
Смирно!
расстоянием миллионов и миллионов Красной Армии. Нашего Красного
Я готов!
мы должны
Готов?
немедленно перестроить всю нашу работу.
Так точно!
Все подчинить интересам фронта и задачам организации разгрома врага.
Готов!
Народы Советского Союза видят,
Выходим!
что германский фашист неукротим в своей бешеной злобе и ненависти к нашей Родине.
Мирно!
Трудящимся в свободный труд и благосостояние.
Смирно!
Советского Союза должны подняться на защиту своих прав, своей земли, против врага. Красная армия, Красный флот и все граждане Советского Союза должны отстаивать каждую часть советской земли. Драться до последней капли крови за наши города и села.
Так точно!
Смелость, инициативу и спорту, свойственные нашему народу.
Now we can also pick the policy for our tanks. In this case I would go for increased reliability, mechanical genius, and we can also pick this one for some extra reliability.
Организовать быстрое продвижение транспортов с войсками, военным грузом, хирургию, помощь раненым.
Готов?
And then we prepare for the last encirclement up here.
Совместного дела всю свою работу,
Выходим!
обеспечить усиленную работу всех предприятий, производить
Let's go.
входил в воздушные ворота. Мы должны организовать беспощадную борьбу со всякими организаторами ЦУРа, дезертирами, паникерами, распространителями слухов,
Брось!
уничтожать шпионов,
Брось! Я готов.
нашим истребительным батальонам. Нужно иметь в виду, что враг коварен, хитер, сборником в обмане и распространением ложных слухов. Нужно учитывать,
Брось!
нужно немедленно призывать суду военного трибунала.
Готов.
Не оставлять противнику ни килограмма хлеба, ни литра горючего. В том случае должны ударять в бегство и сдавать под сохранность государственным органам. Я вырасти в тыловой район. В том числе частную.
Let's see if we can pick victories at hand. Check from time to time whenever you can. You should pick it because this is great.
Смирно! Смирно!
And then we can prepare to close the last encirclement here.
Готов! Брось! Готов!
Она является не только войной между двумя армиями. Она является вместе с тем великой войной всего советского народа против немецкого фашизма. Мы вмешиваемся в народную отечественной войны против фашистских угнетателей является не
Так
только
точно.
опасности, нависшей над нашей страной, но и помощь тем народам Европы с помощью подвигом германского
Выходим!
And the last encirclement here. It's coming to an end. Quite a lot of divisions in here too.
народов Европы и Америки, в том числе в лице германского народа, порабощенного гитлеровским сатанизмом. Наша война за свободу нашего Отечества зовется
Выходим!
и свободу. Это будет единый фронт народов, стоящих за свободу, против порабощения, угрозы порабощения со стороны фашистских армий Гитлера.
Destroyed. From now on, the war against Germany is very easy. Of course, we go for Berlin.
И декларация правительства Соединенных Штатов Америки по готовности оказать помощь нашей стране, которые могут вызвать лишь чувство благодарности в сердцах народов Советского Союза, являются вполне понятными и показательными.
Так точно! Так точно!
As you can see, the fighters, our fighters are starting to work. The F2 designs. Now the stats are becoming more insane. It's quite interesting because you can see the difference between the early fighters, which were struggling a bit, and now here it's a more advanced phase of the war. So we're using more F2 designs, and the results are quite impressive.
Смирно! Смирно! Готов?
Ready to push for Berlin? Let's go.
Я готов. Стройсь! Мы тесним их.
Now we can make some changes to the production. We can decrease the production of fighters to 25 and we can go back to 50 tanks. And then we can also assign future factories to the production of mechanized. No, we don't have it yet, sorry. No mechanized.
Так точно.
And Berlin is taken.
Товарищи красноармейцы и краснофлотцы,
Так точно.
лейтенанты,
Так точно.
офицеры армии и флота, генералы и адмиралы,
Мирно.
рабочие и работники,
Так точно.
колхозники и колхозницы,
Выходим.
науки, техники и искусства, служащие советских учреждений и
Мы тесним их. Выходим.
от имени и по поручению советского правительства и союзной коммунистической партии большевиков приветствую и поздравляю вас с великой победой
Так точно.
империализма. Сегодня столица нашей Родины Москва от имени Родины чествует доблестных советских воинов, одержавших эту победу. Сегодня воины-победители пронесут по улицам Москвы и мимо всех стенов Кремля свои боевые
Так точно.
силы, покрытые бессмертной славой.
Готов.
For the next push we go for something like this.
4
At this point we would be very happy if Hungary, Romania or Bulgaria or anyone at all joined the Axis and the war against us. Because as I said, we don't want Italy to capitulate without someone else in the war. Otherwise we will have to defeat the German, whatever, Norway.
и взяться за оружие, чтобы
Мирно.
отстоять честь, свободу
Выходим.
независимость своего отечества. Война с фашистской Германией
For civilian factories we can just build more military factories.
и сильных врагов остановилась для нас тяжелым и грозным испытанием.
Стройсь.
Однако наш советский народ, наша Красная Армия не падали духом.
Okay, we can send our spies to quiet in the States.
Красная Армия перешла
Start making the collaboration governments there too.
очистила врага советскую землю. Перенесла войну на территорию
Мирно.
Германии, на голову
испытаний фашист
Готов!
военных прав. Ее чудовищная военная машина разрушена.
Готов!
Преступная и
At this point, as you can see, the Germans don't really have an army anymore because we destroyed it. So these are very easy pushes. Let's see the casualties, 45k to over 2 million.
ликвидирован. Человечество избавлено от
Смирно!
своего врага германского фашизма.
Мирно!
Ныне все признают о достижении исторических
Мирно!
над Германией. Советский Союз играл главную и
Ройс!
широкую роль. На протяжении
Готов!
Красная армия один на один сражалась против вооруженных
Смирно!
сил Германии и ее сателлитов. В Отечественной войне Красная
Готов!
честью оправдала
Так точно!
великая история народа. Ее славные воины достойно выполнили свой долг перед Родиной. Красная армия не только отстояла свободу и независимость нашего Отечества.
On free military factories, you should also get mechanized, so you can start making some mechanized with all of the future factories we have.
Наша победоносная Красная армия войдет в мировую историю как армия-освободительница, уверенная ореолом
Ройс!
сверхсущей славы. Отечественная война завершена. Одержана победа, какой еще не знала история. Источник
Мирно!
этой великой победы являются наш социалистический строй,
Ройс!
мудрое руководство большевистской партии.
Now we are ready to take down Germany. Unfortunately, no one else joined, which is a little annoying. We still have some time while we fight Italy. There is still a chance that Hungary or Romania will join the Axis, and that would be very nice. But we'll need to see.
И доблестный труд советского народа. Товарищи, победу над
I am a bit early because this war went particularly smoothly.
мы завоевали
Смирно!
ценой тяжелых жертв. Жестокий битва с врагом. Мало смерть храбрых, много наших боевых друзей. Лучших
Так точно!
сынов и дочерей нашего народа. Сегодня день великого торжества. Почтим их священную память и произнесем вечная слава героям. Наши стоят за нашу советскую родину.
We can try to justify on Hungary and see if that works. Although I think we will be done with the war in 125 days, but let's try.
Ройс!
Meanwhile, we are going to end Germany.
Здравствует наша победа! Слава победоносным воинам! Отстоявшим честь, свободу и нашей Родины! Слава великому советскому народу! Народу-победителю!
And Germany is down.
Так точно! Я готов! Я готов. Так точно.
Now, after Germany, we want to take down Italy as fast as possible. Before France gets too much of them. We want to claim them for ourselves, of course.
Мирно. Так точно. Вытесним их. Стройсь.
Do not create a collaboration government in Germany yet. Wait until after the war. You can freely manage military factories at this point. I would prioritize tanks and fighters and of course mechanized.
Готов. Смирно. Стройсь. Мирно. Так точно. Готов. Я готов. Готов. Так точно. Так точно. Готов. Готов. Стройсь. Смирно. Готов. Стройсь.
Okay, we stopped France, which was the most important thing. Now we're in control of Italy. If we capitulate them too fast, however, we are going to have to defeat Norway as well. But Norway is defeated. Okay, then I guess in that case we can probably defeat them.
Я готов.
Without Norway defeated at this point, I would be careful to end the war, because if you end the war too fast, you will have to defeat Norway, as I said, which is quite annoying. But since nobody else is in this war, it should be fine.
Так точно.
Okay, this thing, Hungary declaring war on Romania and the UK declaring war on Romania. This is one of the weird events, RNG related events, which may happen, may not happen. Like in this run, for example, Hungary and Romania did not join the Axis, or at least they didn't do it fast enough. Sometimes they join the Axis before World War II starts, sometimes during World War II. So again, there is a bit of RNG. You will never get the same result, but you get the main point. Always transfer the territory to Italy. It's a free puppet for us. Okay, so it will be Romania. It's not actually bad. We just need to defeat Romania to end the war.
Так точно. Выходим. Я готов. Готов. Я готов. Готов?
So the thing is, Romania doesn't join the war against us. If we invite Hungary to our faction, we should be able to declare war to Romania, or we will be called into the war against Romania, which is not too bad. So I think this may be a good idea. And then we wait for them to go down. They hopefully join wars. Okay. Really confused. They are not responding. Okay. Never mind, I guess. Why is the game so broken? Why is nobody calling Romania into this war? Okay, I said I shouldn't reload the game, but this is quite weird. So let's try if reloading the game fixes it in this case. Someone should definitely call Romania against me. It doesn't make any sense that they are not doing it.
Готов.
Okay, if they are not joining, then let's finish Italy.
Смирно. Готов.
Okay, then we finished the war, and we got 71% of the war score. We got, of course, insane stats. We finished with less than 48 casualties, 48,000 casualties. Although I should have probably showed you that. That's sad. Yeah, never mind. Let's reload once more. I want to show you that. And at this point, I can also finish the war a bit faster. Sorry, if you're watching the unedited version, you will see some stuff going on, but
Готов. Выходим.
okay, so since unfortunately it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get Romania and Hungary in this particular run, because they never joined the Axis, we will get them later, it's fine anyway. Let's give a last look at the stats and then end the war. We finished with an amazing 47,000 casualties. I think this is quite impressive with the Soviet Union, and completely destroyed, of course, the German Reich and Italy. We are going to finish the war by taking Palermo. This is not usually the case, so let me say what usually happens at this point. What happens is that Romania and Hungary are usually part of the war, and that you need to defeat Hungary after taking Palermo and after conquering entirely Italy. At that point, you usually prepare an offensive from here, you take Budapest and Cluj, and you end the war in that way. But as I said, there is some RNG in this run, so this is how World War II played out in this particular run. Let's end the war.
Стройсь.
And we're also going to end the war extremely early. It's only July 1940. Quite impressive. And we're probably going to have a very good war score. Yeah, 71% of the war score. July 1940, and World War II is done. So what do we do in the peace conference? If you also have Romania, Hungary and Bulgaria in the war, which sometimes happens, I suggest puppeting them. But the priority is to annex everything which is core of the German Reich, which is everything in the German Reich except for Bohemia and Moravia. And then I would suggest puppeting everything else. Or you also want to puppet this stuff here, which is not a core of the German Reich. Why do we annex the German Reich? Because we have a collaboration government, so right after the war we can create a collaboration government there. I will skip the peace conference for you, and I will just show you the final outcome. Alright, the peace conference is done, so let's see what the situation is at this point. We got half of Europe, and like the last time, the screenshot I shared on the channel in the community section, we couldn't get Romania, Hungary and Bulgaria, that's sad, but it couldn't be helped in this one. And of course we are in a very good spot to fight the allies, because on the other hand it's also only the 7th of July, and so we have plenty of time to start preparing our future expansions. Now I will continue this run as I recently do with my guides. We will go at least for the fight against the allies, and then possibly also for the invasion of the United States. We'll probably stop at that point. So this is officially the end of the guide. A lot of work goes into these country guides, several test runs before I publish the final run. So if you can show your appreciation by, you know, commenting, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, that would be really great. Other than that, of course, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.